is not in your position, they are just one step away from you. So you can ask them relevant questions about the topic for today, you know, with regards to if they have any personal sort of advice that they can give you, and that kind of thing. So without any further ado, I'm going to leave it to these brothers, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, ma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters, if you guys are watching. I just want to say first of all, before we start, I just want to apologise in advance if I do, say anything that doesn't make sense. I just woke up like 7 minutes ago, I was in the car sleeping. It's been a long night. It was a long drive here as well, so if I do say anything that doesn't make sense, I just want to apologise in advance. And mashallah, I just want everyone to just say Allahumma barik, and mashallah, these two guys are looking very, mashallah, you guys' transformation with Allah. So today's topic apparently was the issue of free mixing, the issue of fitnah. I used to talk to myself, as I mentioned, you know, I was in the car sleeping. And first of all, I just want to mention, so from the audience, just to get an idea of where you guys are at, how many of you guys are in school at the moment? Put your hands up if you're in school at the moment. MashaAllah, there's been quite a lot of young kids. Anyone here in college? Any college? Doesn't matter if you're doing A-level, B-Tech, doesn't matter, college is college. Anyone here doing college? No? Any university students? Slightly older? MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So we've got a lot of school students here. Yeah, you see, MashaAllah, we've got a lot of very, very young kids. So to kick it off, inshallah, let's start off with strides. So this is an interactive session where, inshallah, we want you to be part of the discussion. We want to talk to you guys, we want to talk amongst each other, and we want you guys to be a part of the discussion, yeah? So first of all, let's go to Brother Strides here, inshallah. And the question that I want to put to you is it possible for a girl and a guy to be just friends? This is a very common thing you hear. You know, people say to you, but brother, like, you know, me and her, there's nothing there. We're just friends. There's nothing wrong with that. Come on, man, I don't want to be with her. I don't like her like that. We're just friends. Is this something which is possible in Islam?
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. First of all, I just want to say jazakumullahu khairan for having us today. It's an honor to be in the company of you lovely brothers and sisters. So, going to the question that Abu Bakr asked, first I just want to say one thing before I answer that question. A lot of the times when, you know, youngsters, we're just growing up, we haven't had that sort of, if you haven't had that sort of tarbiyah, you haven't had that sort of upbringing where, you know, you've been raised in an Islamic way, you know, at home, your mum sending you madrasa, not just to memorize Quran, but actually understand it. You're going through, you know, you're going to the masjid all the time and you're having that sort of upbringing. If you didn't have that upbringing, sometimes Islam, when you start hearing it for the first time, it starts feeling like, wow, this is a burden on me, man. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, why does He make all of these things haram? I just want to do these things. And sometimes we have to understand and we have to paint a different picture because society is painted a very, very bad picture for us where we start to now see our own religion, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with, as something which is a burden. SubhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not burden us with this religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us this religion as a mercy. Everything that Allah made halal for us is for our good. And everything that Allah made haram for us is also for our good. And this is our Lord. And you have to imagine now, I'm going to take the example of, let's say, a mobile phone. Okay, because most people here have a mobile phone. The one who created the mobile phone created this mobile phone to do a certain purpose, to function in a certain way. You can't take a mobile phone and now you start playing football with it. No. Like, a football was created to play football with. A mobile phone was created to call, to now take pictures and text and whatever it may be. Okay? So now what about the creation, us? Okay? As human beings. Okay? A boy and a girl. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created us and He set certain guidelines. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to do certain things and told us to stay away from certain things. Not because this is a burden on you, but because Allah knows you better than anyone, Allah created you, and Allah knows how you should live your life. And this is a mercy from our Lord. So this is the first thing that we have to understand, okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, while we do not know. So this is the first thing that I wanted to just mention before, I go into the question, that Islam is not a burden, Islam is a blessing. And when we truly start to understand the blessing that we have, we will start to follow in accordance to how we are supposed to be following our religion. So now, to go to your question, I saw that there's a lot of school children here. Like my little brother, he's in secondary school as well, so I always have these sort of discussions with him pertaining to, how do you deal with girls in school, when they put you in groups, you have to do group work, all of this sort of stuff. So I can relate to you lot in that sort of sense. Obviously, I was in secondary school at that time as well, but I wasn't practicing back then. Alhamdulillah, I started practicing after I left secondary school. So what I would say is, first and foremost, no, a girl and a boy can't just be friends, because we have to understand it starts off as, okay, yeah, she's just in my group, or he's just in my group, we're just doing work, okay, no problem. Then it starts off as, okay, no one else in the class has homework, it's only Sister Aisha that has the homework, so I'm going to go to Sister Aisha to ask her for the homework. And Sister Aisha, she's not available, she says, the homework's not with me, give me your number, I'll send you a picture of the homework. So you're like, okay, there's no harm in that, she's just going to send me the homework. You give her your number, then what happens? Sister Aisha, she sends you the, by the way, I don't know no sister called Aisha, if you're thinking, who's Sister Aisha? I don't know no one called Sister Aisha. But she sends you the picture now, and you're like, okay, Jazakallah khair, sister. She's like, Barakallahu feek, brother. You're like, oh sister, I forgot to ask you, where do you live? The conversation starts. Then it leads from, you asked her for homework, and then, subhanAllah, look what happened. I'm not sure if you lot know the story of Barsisa, but it's a long story. I'm going to just make it short for you, to show you how these sort of mutual relationships, friendship relationships, it doesn't work. Okay, there was a man, and this is to show you that even the most righteous of people don't think you're safe. Sometimes you think that because you're going to the masjid, because you're reading Quran, because you wear a thobe and you've got a shamar on, that khalas, I'm free, I'm saved, I'm a special person. No, it's not like that. This man, okay, he was a abid, he was a righteous slave of Allah, okay? And there was 3 brothers, okay, they were going away, so they wanted someone to look after their sister. And in the whole city, they couldn't trust anyone except this one man. So they asked this man to look after the sister while they go away. So Shaitan, he got involved, obviously now, and things led to one another. But the thing I want you to take from this is, first of all, the man, he free mixed with the sister of the 3 brothers. So he engaged in a way which was not permissible. So Shaitan got him to do this. Then what happened? So free mixing, I want you to take the steps. So free mixing was the first thing. Then what happened? Ended up in zina. Okay, they had illicit relationships. They had, relationships with each other. Okay, and they weren't mahram, they weren't permissible for each other. So it started off free mixing. Then it went to zina. After zina, what happened? Now a baby came. Okay, the sister, she got pregnant, a baby came. Now the man, what did he do after that? He killed the baby. So free mixing, it led to zina, and then it led to murder. Not only did he murder the baby, he also murdered the sister. So he murdered the girl as well. So 2 murders. Now you're going to think, subhanAllah, free mixing, okay, just talking to a girl, it led to having relationships which were not permissible. And then that led to murder, killing someone. It got worse. Murder led to a man committing disbelief. He left Islam. He committed Covff. So a man, just because he's had a relationship which was not allowed with a woman, he left the religion, the biggest blessing that he was given. Can you imagine that someone gave you something so valuable, and you lose that thing, something that you cherish, something that's your life, something that when you die, this is what's going to save you. Islam, Iman, this is what's going to save you. Someone takes that away from you. What took Islam away from this man? a woman. So this is something we have to ponder on. And I know real life stories. Right now I'm in university. So I've done my secondary school, I've done my college. I'm in university, I see things, I hear stories, people come to me and they talk to me about things which happen inside the university. I've seen it with my own two eyes in university. Things like, that was a story I narrated to you that was from the past. Things like that are happening right now. You think, oh yeah, this is back in the days, brother. Right now, last week only. Last week only, a brother, he came to me, brother, the sister, she wants me to leave my religion. Brother, I'm thinking about leaving my religion. How serious is Islam? Akhi, what if I leave, maybe if I leave my religion, I'll come back later on, you know, maybe convert her. I looked at him, and this is a brother who I know for a very long time. And this is a brother who's strong, like the brother Imran was mentioning earlier on in his talk. Like, you get the most rough, tough gangster. A girl comes to him, the guy's soft now. Oh, what do you need? Okay, you want me to hold your bag for you? Okay, no problem. He goes around doing this. So, you know, to answer your question, you know, like these relationships, you have to, the reason I didn't answer it as just, no, you can't, is because you have to paint a picture. Right now, like I told you, everyone has already a picture in their head of how a certain thing is. If we're not painting the picture how Islam wants us to paint the picture, then it's just going to end up going off in a different path. When Allah said, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا زِنَا, okay? After that, Allah mentioned, because what? It's an evil way, it's an evil path. What's the evil path? Not zina, the path towards zina. Free mixing, so talking to boys who are not your mahram, who are not permissible for you, talking to girls who are not permissible for you, and so on and so forth. I hope, you know, I gave some light to that.
Well, Jazakallah khair for your very, very, very comprehensive answer, mashallah. I think from now on, let's try and limit the responses to about 2 minutes, inshallah, maximum, so we can make it a bit interactive. The people, the brothers in the crowd also, inshallah. So is there anyone in the crowd who believes that it is possible for a brother and a sister, a male and a female, to be just friends? So is there anyone in the crowd who does believe that it is possible? Because I'm not going to lie, even like when you think back to Jahiliyyah, people used to think that, people used to believe that it is possible for a brother and a sister to be just friends, no feelings, no attraction, nothing involved whatsoever. Is there anyone in the crowd who believes that that's possible? Hey, actually, right here with the glasses. No, don't turn around, bro, don't turn around. Why don't you believe it's possible? Possible. You didn't put your hand up? You didn't put your hand up? No. So why don't you believe that it's possible?
Because it's not allowed, isn't it?
Why is it not allowed? Who said it's not allowed?
Because you can lead to bad stuff.
So you can't be just friends? You don't have any bad intentions? You just want to be friends? Normal friends? You can wake each other up for Fajr, you know? Early morning text. Habibti Fajr time, no? Why not?
Because like, it could lead to zina.
It could lead to zina, mashallah. Yes, Akhi.
Like our brother was saying, it could lead to the small stuff, like, can you give me your homework, to giving him your number and starting conversations, to the bigger stuff like Barsisi killed the baby and zina and stuff like that.
Wallah, it's so true, man. Wallah, beautiful answer, mashallah. It's so true that things start off so small, so innocent, but then they spiral, you know, like a snowball. You know, in the movies you see the snowball and it's going down the hill and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes down. It's exactly like that. Now let's get the Prophet Nasir involved as well, inshallah. The question I want to ask you is that there may be some people here who are unfortunately already in, you know, some sort of interaction, some sort of relationship with the opposite gender. What advice can you give? Not saying that you've got any experience with this, but what advice can you give on how to end that contact, how to end that relationship?
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, how I would answer this, I'm just like saying from my own personal observations. Nothing too technical. Honestly, what I would say is you have two options now. If you're ending the situation you're in with the opposite gender because you don't like them, that specific person, then yeah, just end it as that and keep it moving. It's that simple. But if you're trying to end it because out of fear for Allah and maybe you want to marry this person or see a future with them, I would say just marry them, you know. Because like Strides mentioned, he said, you know, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا زِنَا, don't even go near to zina. Like any pathway, any door that could lead to zina, just close that off automatically, man. And yeah, my personal advice would be marry. And the Prophet ﷺ, he is the person who first came out with this advice, because in a hadith of his, he mentioned what he said. He was speaking to the youngsters here. Now a lot of you might have this, I don't know, mindset, or your parents' cultural mindset, whether you're, I don't know, Sudanese, Yemeni, Somali, your parents will tell you what, graduate, then get married. Like, I understand why they say that, but they don't kind of, that's the mindset back home, in Yemen, or in Somalia, or in Ethiopia, Eritrea, them kind of places, or Pakistan, that's the mindset back home. They don't know that the people in our age group right now are at house parties, they're doing stuff with girls. They don't know that. They think we're just some aliens. We wake up, no desires, pray 5 times a day, go back to sleep, that's it. No talking. It's not like that, I'm afraid. Like, it's a lot deeper than this. The sad thing is our parents don't realise this, wallahi. Simply because maybe, I'm not sure, back in their days, you know, living in a village, this, that and the other, and the shyness of the women, like, the men hardly see the women back home, put it that way. If the woman comes out of her house, the man doesn't even see her. In Yemen, bro, if you're 13 years old, you're married. You've probably got 2 wives at the age of 13. Literally, if I was in Yemen right now, I would easily have 4 wives. Literally, I got people who are, yeah, like, bro, I was in Yemen, in the car, and I see a 12-year-old driving his parents to a wedding. And his dad's in the back of the car. He's 12 years old. Anyways, going back to the point, get married. Because in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he advised the youngsters. Now you guys are probably thinking, oh, I'm poor, I don't know what to do, how the hell am I going to get married? What am I going to say to my dad? What am I going to say to my mum? I've got this girl, I really like this girl, I don't know what to do. If you like her, marry her, man. The Prophet ﷺ said, Ya ma'shara al-shabab, he said, oh you youngsters, من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج. He said, any of you who have the ability to get married, then get married. Now you might be thinking, what's the ability here? The scholars, the mufassirin, they said the ability here falls under 2 things. It falls under physical ability, and it falls under financial ability. Physical ability to do what? Physical ability to, you know, have kids. Physical ability to fulfill your wife's desires. And the financial ability to provide for your wife's basic needs, just necessities. Not no Michael Kors bag, this, that, and the other. Just simple, you know. Food, shelter, just make sure she's alright, whatever she wants, clothes. Basic needs. You don't have to be a millionaire to provide for your wife's basic needs. Now, I'm not saying, based on this hadith, everyone's fit to get married, because obviously not. Everyone has their own personal struggles, this, that, and the other. But this just goes to show you how marriage can, you know, prevent somebody from, you know, falling into zina. Because as the hadith carries on, the Prophet ﷺ said, يَا مَعْشَرَ الشَّبَابِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ مِنكُمُ الْبَاءَةَ فَلْيَتَزَوَّجْ فَإِنَّهُ أَغَضُّ لِلْبَصَرِ. Why is the Prophet telling the youngsters to get married here? He says, فَإِنَّهُ أَغَضُّ لِلْبَصَرِ, because verily it will help you lower your gaze. And then he goes on to say, وَأَحْسَنُ لِلْفَرْجِ, and he said it will be a fortress for your private parts. And the word that he used is not a protection for your private parts, rather he used a fortress for your private parts, just to show you how much marriage would, you know, reduce your desires. And as the hadith carries on, the Prophet ﷺ, he now gives us a practical step, because he knows the affairs of the people, and he knows that marriage is going to be hard for some of us. You know, some of us might not have the financial ability, some of us might not have the physical ability to get married. So the Prophet ﷺ, what did he say? He said, فَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَعَلَيْهِ بِالصَّوْمِ. The Prophet ﷺ said, and the one who does not have the ability, then upon him is to fast. He didn't say, and try to fast. He said, upon him is to fast. So it's obligatory for you to fast if you don't have the ability to get married. Why? Because, as the Mufassirin also explained, fasting, it castrates your desires. And I believe the analogy that was given, forgive me for being vulgar, it's like your testicles being cut off when you fast. That's what it does. When you fast, you have no interest in a woman. You see a woman on the road, okay, naturally, it's within you to look down, lower your gaze and walk past. Like, nothing ever happened. and I think it was a hadith of Dawood where he used to fast one day and skip one day, right? The fasting of Dawood, where he used to fast one day and skip one day. But that doesn't mean you fast one day and skip one day. Maybe you, like, your needs are much higher than what Dawood needed. Maybe you're roasting so much you need to fast more. Maybe you're roasting much less, you need to fast less. It all depends on you. And yeah, just fast. If you have the ability, then get married. That's what I say.
So how many brothers are there in the crowd that are looking to get married, inshallah? Don't be shy, don't be shy. The masjid might be able to hook you up, you never know. Allah Akbar, actually, how old are you? You're 13. You put your hand up. If you want to take it to Yemen. I want to take this to Yemen. You get a cheap ticket to Yemen. £200, bro. Now behave, man. Your dad's in the crowd somewhere, you're going to get in trouble when we go home. Okay, so the next point I want to talk about, obviously, so we made it clear that you can't really interact with the opposite gender, but does that mean that you don't interact at all? For example, if you go into a shop and the shopkeeper's a woman, so when she says to you, yeah, that's £4, you just put your hands in your ears and you just sort of run out. Is that what you do? Or is there a way for you to deal with certain situations in the way that you have to? Before I put it to Brother Strides, does anyone want to try and shed some light on that issue? Go on, young brother again, mashallah.
Do you want to like limit what you say? Just say you could say that's £4, okay, here, and you can leave. You don't have to say, oh, do you have any brothers? Can I get your father's phone number? You don't have to say any of that. You could just say,
what's your name, Akhi?
Abdul.
Mashallah. Do you want to swap? Honestly, mashallah, you're getting in today, man. The young brother is putting your elder guys to shame. Honestly, mashallah, he goes, limit your conversation. If you do ever have to speak to the opposite gender, limit your conversation. You don't have to say, oh, yes, £4, okay, here you go, how was your day, mashallah, very nice eyelashes, Allahu Akbar, where did you get them done from, wow, mashallah. No, just, like you said, it's just £4, and here you go, thank you very much, thank you, take care, bye-bye, and just leave. You don't need to go on and drag the conversation. A lot of people, they tend to do this. If you are in school, if you are in college, if you are in university, number one, limit your conversation. If you do sometimes ever have to, maybe like you said, Sister Aisha might have the homework, and you might genuinely need to ask her, Sister, just ask for the homework. Don't like you said, I don't know. In my school, people never said, Sister, you got the homework, thank you. Where do you live? I don't know where you got that from. People don't do that very often. We don't ask straight away. You can have the homework, then where do you live? That's a bit weird, isn't it? But growing up in the South was hard, okay, no problem. But the point is that limit your conversation. That's point number one. Has anyone got any other ideas of what other pointers could be when it comes to interacting with the opposite gender? Yes?
When you're speaking to them, don't talk about how are they already live here. Just tell you what you want to do. You don't try to get their number.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Another banging point from one brother, just building up upon what the other brother said. The brother basically said is that don't go unnecessarily on. Speak about what you came to speak about. Keep it to the purpose. So number one, limit your conversation. And number two, stick to the purpose for which you came. I like it, mashallah. Anyone else? Anyone else? Come on, let's get some of the elder brothers now as well, man. These youngsters put you to shame. Yes, uncle. You would ask, are you married or not, before you do it?
No,
Oh, wait, you're asking me if I'm married? You would ask the girl if she's married or not? Oh, okay, mashallah. The uncle would ask us, if she's married or not. Allah Yes, Aki. Lower your gaze, yes, mashallah. Very, very important point. This is a very, very important point because your eyes, you see your eyes, they're the gateway to your heart. So you're sitting there, for example, Sister Aisha's there with the homework and you're looking at Sister Aisha, can I have the homework please? Please, I'd really appreciate it. And you're looking, staring at her, you're looking at her and this and that. In your mind, that's going to make you go crazy. That is what's going to make you want to lead on to other things. If you come up and you lower your gaze, like the brother said, you lower your gaze, keep your gaze low. Sister, Assalamu alaikum, sir, I just wanted to say, I wasn't here for last week's homework. Could I have it, please? She said yes, okay, just have it. And keep it moving. That's it. You don't need to sit there and, yeah, mashallah, and, staring and watching, and that's just going to lead to problems. That's going to lead to more problems. Shrai, is there anything else that you would like to add in terms of advice when interacting with the opposite gender?
One thing that I think we should really mention is that sometimes a Muslim sister or a Muslim brother might understand. What about now when it comes to the non-Muslims? They'll start thinking, wait, what? What are you talking about? The Muslims, our fitnah, we was raised this way. Most of our parents taught us this kind of interaction is not allowed. How you talk to a girl? I raised this kind of child. Do you get what I'm saying? But when it comes to now, a non-Muslim, now it becomes a bit more difficult. You can't talk to me. Why are you looking down? Look at me. You're so disrespectful. What do they teach you in school? Eye contact, body language. That's what they teach you, right? So now they're starting to think, oh, this person is very disrespectful. And then you might get a doubt and start thinking, oh yeah, I am being disrespectful. Sorry, yeah, what was he saying? And you start looking at them. Sometimes when you have to explain to them, and a lot of the times, when, for example, I'll give you another example, because the examples make it clear. At university, we was doing Islamic Awareness Week. So, people, we had like a stool like this, a table out, we had a lot of leaflets, and a lot of people, they'll come to us. And unfortunately, the day that we was doing it, the sisters who are in our university, they weren't available. So we was doing both brothers and sisters. So brothers and sisters were coming to us. So what happened is, it was just me and another brother on the table. So a lot of non-Muslims were coming to us. And one girl, what she noticed is that when we was talking to her, we wasn't looking at her. So we would talk to her and we'd be like, okay, yeah, basically what we have here. And we would talk like this. So she asked me, why is it that, first of all, they always ask, why is it that Muslim women have to cover? That's the first question. All non-Muslim women that I've ever talked to, that's the first question they ask. Because that's kind of the first step that they face that's hard. Why do I have to cover this, that? And then she asked, why do men and women, your interactions are a bit weird. So I explained to her, look, in our religion, men see women as queens, okay? Yeah, queens. You know who the queen is? Who's the queen?
Go. Queen Elizabeth. Go.
The old woman.
She might watch this video, man. I think probably calling me an old woman.
Hannah. Who's the queen? Mom. Your mom is the queen. That's the answer I was looking for. So all women in Islam are queens. So now when you interact, or not even Islam, all women are queens. So now when you interact with a queen, you want to treat her like she's a queen, right? So she's precious, you don't want to look at her. Okay, she's precious, you don't want to touch her. She's probably not covered, Allah, you don't want to see her beauty. So that's why you're lowering your gaze. And you explain it like that to them, they start feeling flattered. Oh, subhanAllah, that's what Islam teaches you. And this is a way of da'wah as well. This is a way to call people to Islam. When you start showing them through your action what Islam has taught you. Sometimes, when you're not educated about Islam, what happens? People, we know on the news now, they're doing a lot of things. Because they're not educated and they don't realize, they start having a negative assumption of Islam. But when we explain to them in a nice way, okay, because when in Surah Taha, when subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Musa alayhi salam to Fir'aun, okay, Allah told Musa to speak to, alayhi salam, to speak to Fir'aun. Fir'aun was what? The biggest kafir, okay, biggest disbeliever. Allah told Musa alayhi salam to speak to Fir'aun in a nice way, to call him so that he may accept, or he may fear Allah. So that's what we have to kind of, understand when we deal with non-Muslims as well, that, when we're talking to them, when we're showing them what our religion teaches us, that we talk to them in a nice way, we explain to them in a nice way. Because it's always easy to explain to the Muslim, this person was raised as a Muslim. When it comes to a non-Muslim, their culture is very different. Okay? So that's all I would probably add. But I wanted to ask you a question, brother, because, you seem to be directing the questions over here. What would you do, subhanAllah, if a woman try to shake your hand?
Allah Akbar. I've got there's a very, very funny story. Allah Akbar, yeah. So, myself, brother Imran, yeah, his brother Saad, and was it just us three or was there anyone else with us? Was Gulid with us? No, he wasn't. You were there? The Kingston one? Okay, so brother Nasser was there as well. So we were looking for a new office. You know, we do a lot of da'wah work and stuff like that. We needed a new recording studio, right? So we applied for a few different places online, and we went to viewings to look at different places, different office spaces, see what they were like, the price, etc., etc. And there was this one in Kingston, in West London, right? And I remember we got there, and the person showing us around was a woman. Yeah, she was the one who was going to show us the office, so obviously we had to interact with her. And I remember we parked. There's like this really big sort of one-way system. It's kind of like a massive roundabout, really, in Kingston, and the office space was literally on that roundabout, right? So I had to go around, find parking, etc. So we parked the car and we're walking up towards the office, and she's standing there outside, and she sees us coming, we see her coming, and you know, I could just tell from far away this was going to be one of those awkward ones, so she was going to put her hand out. So as we're walking up to her, these brothers said to me, okay, Bukka, you go first, you deal with it, innit, kind of thing. I'm not going to say no, because I was the youngest. Well, Nasir was there as well, but obviously I was youngest out of us three, and they were like, you do it, innit? I was like, oh, we always do it, you do it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So as we're walking up, she's going, hi, my name's, is it Carrie or Carly? I can't remember what her name was, innit? And she's gone, as soon as she said that, she's gone, how are you? And she's stuck her hand out. And I panicked, I'll be honest with you, I just panicked. I was thinking, what do I do? So I turned around, I was like, oh, basically, I'm so sorry we're late, we had to go all the way around. I went around that way, and then, you know, when I came around the roundabout, there was traffic, and the car blocked me off, and then I did that, and I finally came and I parked up, so I'm sorry for being late. The hand's still there. Allah. I thought, by me doing all that, she would have, you know, hand got tight, she would have put it down. I come back and the hand's still there, like in my face, and I'm like, Allah, I'm really sorry, but for religious reasons, I don't really shake hands with women. And she kind of like, you know, she kind of was like, oh, like, you know, got a bit startled and put her hand down. You could tell she was a little bit embarrassed. She said, no, that's fine, no problem. But you could just tell that, you know, she went red, yeah, she went really red, like she got quite embarrassed. But she didn't, you know, take offense to it, I don't think. You know, I think it's a thing where, you know, a lot of people nowadays, they kind of expect it, that they know now. I think it's becoming more and more known, because alhamdulillah, there are a lot more people out there who are starting to try and avoid situations like that. Which one? Yeah, I mean, there's different ways to do it. Sometimes, you know, like, if someone sticks out their hand, just I'm sorry, you know, I'm just coughing over my hands with lots of germs, you know, maybe, you know, some other time, whatnot. I remember one time, we went to another office, and this woman, Allah, it's like Allah answered my daughter. Again, the brother said to me, what can you do? I thought, oh man, this was, I don't know if Imran, you remember that woman, Jenny. Allah Akbar. And it was funny because she came out and she was rubbing her hands, she had put cream on her hands, and she said, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't shake your hand because I just got cream on my hands. I was like, no problem, Allah Akbar, I'm happy, don't worry. That's no problem, don't worry, it's all good, it's all good. But I just wanted to ask you guys, inshallah, maybe you guys might have some ideas that you might say now, that someone else who goes for a job interview, or, you know, some sort of, you know, place where they might be offered a handshake, how can we, you know, politely, without, you know, with manners, with good akhlaq, how can someone refuse to shake hands with the opposite gender? Go on, Afi, once again, Fadlan. That's it.
You could say, like, in Islam, we treat women like queens. So you could say, you are, like, we honor you, and we cannot really shake your hand. And you'll really, like, flatter them, so it'd be better for both of you in the end.
Allah Akbar, mashallah, someone go. What was your name, Akhi?
Abdul Rauf.
Abdul Rauf, mashallah. MashaAllah. So the Prophet said, you should speak to them and say to them, look, you know, the reason why I don't want to shake your hand is because you guys are like queens. The word he uses is flatter them. I don't know who you're flattering that for, you know, you need to be careful, bro. You need to be careful, Allah Akbar. But you said, speak good to them. You know, make them feel good about themselves. Don't say, oh, I don't want to shake your hand. But no, look, the reason why I don't want to shake your hand is because in Islam, women are treated like queens. Perfect. Allah Akbar, I agree with you. Anyone else? Any other ideas? Go on, Akhi.
Basically, if she wants to shake your hands, you can explain to her about your religion. You can say to her, our religion in a Muslim, you can say, you're not allowed to shake a woman's hand because you are a queen. So you can explain to her.
Yeah, perfect. Explain to her that it's for religious reasons. You know, it's not that you don't like her, it's not that you've got something against her. So this is your religion. And alhamdulillah, one really good thing is that, you know, even though we live in the West, etc., that people are very, very understanding, especially when it comes to religion. Especially when it comes to religion. You know, alhamdulillah, we live in a country where we're not you know, oppressed because of religion. You know, we're not forced to abandon our religion. They let us practice our religion. And you know, no one's going to say to you, oh, what you mean, you don't want to shake my hand, this and that. Oh, so religious reasons. Oh, okay, no problem, I understand. In my personal experience, that's always been the case. They've always been very, very understanding. It can be very hard for us sometimes if we can, I'm not going to say it, I know she's not going to give me the job, or this and that, whatnot. 9 times out of 10, you'll be surprised, they're very understanding. They're like, no problem, I completely understand, that's fine. Is there anything else you want me to know? That, you know, they really, really are understanding. Anyone else get any other ideas of what you can try and do? Just rub in the back. Okay, let's have a think about that. Yes, yeah, that's a question. We're here for just advice from our personal experiences. For those kind of questions, you have to wait for Imran and Huda to come onto the stage, inshallah, when they do their Q&A. But you should still try. You should still try and avoid it. Any other ideas? I was hoping for some like decent. Yes, yes, actually. Bro, so maybe you could say, I broke my arm, so I can't shake your hand. I think it's hard to lie, that's not the issue. But otherwise it would have been a good idea. Otherwise it would have been a very good idea. Because remember, you want to stop it from happening. But at the same time, you can't, you know, repel a harm by doing another harm. You can't repel a sin by doing another sin. You can't lie in order to prevent yourself from committing another sin. Yes, actually, the green top.
You can say, I went to toilet and I didn't wash my hands, so I can't.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I'll give you credit for trying because you can say that I went to the toilet and I didn't wash my hands. But wash your hands. I think wash your hands. Like, they know that alhamdulillah we're Muslims, so you know when we use the toilet we always wash our hands. So that's a very good one. It's a good one, but don't do that. When people think you're unhygienic, you don't want that. You don't want that. Yes, I see. My future wife is going to get vexed. Allah, because you make it out you've got some stalker wife here, psycho wife. Allah, mashallah. Or if you are already married, you say, if I shake your hand, my wife's probably watching from somewhere, you know? Shh, gonna hit me, bro. I can't shake your hand. Is there anyone else with any other ideas? Go on, last one, go on. For religious purposes, because I'm already married, my religion doesn't allow me to shake other people's hands. Imran, you got a suggestion?
I had a question for Brother Nasir.
You had a question for Brother Nasir? Okay, let's go for it.
I was going to say, just to bring him in, well, anyone can answer it, but the other folk. So, you mentioned a lot about how brothers try and avoid women, right? Sometimes women, they come to the brothers, and they just present themselves to the brothers. They come onto comments and they leave like love-struck emojis and also come into DMs and jokes. So, what advice would you give to the sisters, number one, who keep coming to the brothers like that? And what advice would you give to the brothers in that situation?
Okay, basically what Imran is asking, he's saying, Nasser, what advice would he give to sisters who are commenting love-struck emojis underneath people's pictures, or sisters who are stalking brothers online and saying unnecessary things, you know, tagging their friends, so on and so forth. Basically, he directed the thing at me, and he just tried to be nice about it. Recently, I don't know if you guys know, I started a YouTube channel, started doing YouTube, this, that, and the other, and alhamdulillah, it's been growing. And with growth, comes a little bit of attention. Not to say it's Michael Jackson or anything, but my social medias have been growing. And with growth, I think when people see me do YouTube, I think they kind of forgot I have my morals and I have my, religious, what's it called, the guidelines that I follow. So when you're on YouTube, people look at you as a joker. They think you're just a joker and they think you don't have a serious personality. But yeah, ever since I started doing, well, from before, but like it heavily started having an impact when I started doing YouTube. I'm just seeing sisters like leave unnecessary comments with like emojis, this, that, and the other. And I got to a point where I was saying to myself, should I make this video, should I not? So I said to myself, listen, in order to protect myself and my nafs, and you heard the talks from the brothers saying how, women is a man's biggest weakness, and the plotting of women is something that, is beyond imagination. So I said to myself, look, this is Shaitan whispering to me, saying to me, Nasser, don't make this video speaking about this, make it later on, yeah. So I thought, look, I'm going to make this video now, and I'm going to release the video. And in the video, I just said, look, Assalamu alaikum, my sisters, the religion has set out guidelines. We treat you like queens, and know your self-worth, please. So know your self-worth. You're out here commenting on pictures of a random guy that you have no clue who he even is. How do you know I'm not a fake account? How do you know the person's not a fake account? You're leaving unnecessary comments saying this, that, and the other, and it defeats your whole purpose of shyness. Because what did Allah say in Surah Qasas? I believe in Surah Qasas. Allah was speaking about the righteous women here. And Allah says, Yamshuna al-istihya. Allah says, He was speaking about a particular woman, the Tamshi al-istihya. And this is how every single woman should be. They should walk with shyness. So when you got people commenting this stuff, or people giving you a little bit of attention here and there, don't let it get to your head. Straight away, try and, stop it there. So I had to make out a video and clear the doubts that people might have had. Oh, why are your sisters commenting this, that, and the other. So I told them, listen, I gave them a little threat. I said, if this carries on, I'm just going to turn off all my comments. And I don't want to have to go to a stage where I now turn off my comments on social media, because if I post something, say for example, and my friend wants to comment on it, like I have a normal life, if my friend wants to comment on it, they can't comment. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to make it public. I said, sisters, stop this nonsense, innit? Stop it, please, because it's not, it's not praiseworthy. It defeats the purpose of shyness, this, that, and the other. But yeah, man, that's what I would say, honestly. I just narrated my story. What was the question? What advice?
You answered. Oh wait, and the brothers. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay, well, specifically to sisters, I would personally, I would just say, just follow the Quran and Sunnah to the best of your ability, and follow the guidelines that the Quran and Sunnah have set out with regards to how a shy woman would be, and look up to the role models in the Prophet ﷺ's times, the Sahabiyat, so on and so forth. And what I know is most of these sisters who are commenting this stuff, alhamdulillah, they're not practicing sisters, in a sense where they might be more pious, I don't know, with regards to their salah and their ibadah, I don't know. But from judging by their parents, when you see the comments and you see their usernames, it's crazy. You see the pictures that they've got up, it's crazy. Not to say that I'm clicking on the thing, but when you see the little circle, the DP, you can tell that they're not people who are very observant of what the Quran has set out. So just follow the Quran. And why you're probably thinking, oh, how am I going to follow the Quran? The Quran says so many different things. Follow the Quran in all aspects, but mainly follow it in this specific thing that I'm speaking about. Mainly follow it to how a mu'mina, how a believing woman should should portray herself. Allah says in Surah Al-Ahzab, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّبِيُّ قُلْ لِأَزْوَاجِكَ وَبَنَاتِكَ وَنِسَاءِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ يُدْنِينَ عَلَيْهِنَّ مِنْ جَلَابِيبِهِنَّ. Allah says, all you people, all you prophets, tell your wives and the nisa and the believing women to observe the jilbab, and this is the correct hijab that was mentioned according to the scholars. And yeah, man, just try and observe the correct hijab and have some shyness and respect towards yourself. And this is not even me attacking or any of the brothers attacking, but just know your self-worth. You know what's mad? You got sisters commenting mad stuff, sisters acting in a crazy way, and when a guy comes and breaks their heart, they're depressed and they're saying, why did you break my heart? Why are you giving him all you got? You know what I'm saying? That's just be shy about yourself and walk with shyness.
It's very, very needed reminder there as well, man. You need to tackle it from both sides. One quick question has come up. If you grow up with a female that's not your family, you still respect one another or have a conversation once in a while, is this permissible? I think it's talking about if you've got non-mahram, for example, you know, like a cousin, you know, like especially, I don't know about Somali culture, but in the Pakistani culture, your cousins are seen like your brothers and your sisters. You know, if you don't go and give them a hug, like your auntie, like, that's your sister. No, that auntie, that's not my sister, that's my cousin. She said, no, it's like your sister, you know. When you've got cousins, your family, it's not a problem. But they don't understand the issue of them being non-mahram. So Stride, do you want to shed a bit of light on this topic?
First of all, I'm going to change that word permissible because then it sounds bad. I'm sheikh and I'm fatwa or something. I'm just going to give you advice based on dealings with family members because obviously we have to go through it. Me and her brothers, we go through this. So there's actually, at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a situation like this occurred. Okay, where one of the Sahaba, they came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the Sahaba to be careful with their dealings with the women. Okay, so one Sahaba, one man from the Sahaba, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he asked in regards to the in-laws. Okay, so he asked in regards to the brother-in-law. Okay, for his wife. Okay, so the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in short, gave the answer that the brother-in-law is like death. Rather, the brother-in-law is death. What did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mean? He meant that now the brother-in-law, okay, so the man gets married to, for the young children who probably don't understand, the man gets married to the woman. The man, he has a brother. Is the sister allowed to mix with the brother? Now, in a lot of cultures, I'm Bengali, so in the Bengali culture, this is normal. It happens all the time. However, on the wedding day, you get the sisters from the sister's side going and mixing with the brother. And you get the brothers from the brother's side going and mixing with the sisters. Everything is seeming like, oh yeah, this is normal. But rather, what did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam tell us? That the brother-in-law is like death. The brother-in-law is closest, right? So now what about cousins? They're not that, this is also applying, right? The cousins. What about your aunties? Who, you might have grown up with your auntie, she saw you when she was 2 years old, she comes from Northampton or Loughborough, it's close to here, right? Loughborough, Leicester, wherever it may be. Oh, Beta, I haven't seen you in so long. Come give me a hug. And you're thinking, SubhanAllah, about to me, this is my auntie, whatnot. And you think, what should I do in this situation? And you start, out of like fear or some sort of like embarrassment, you start going, yeah, auntie. And then you clock, oh, bro, I shouldn't have done that, and this is what happens, okay? So what you have to do, you have to set the foundation. And I'll tell you a personal story, yeah, because I like to tell stories because it kind of relates. It happened with me when I first started practicing. And when you first start practicing, when you start changing, you want to change your life, your parents, they'll look at you like, you, like, you're trying to teach me about Islam, you're trying to come and tell me what's right and wrong. I was teaching you Surah Nas and Surah Falaq while you're sitting on the bowl of rice. You was in the kitchen while I was teaching you. Now basically in the Bengali culture what we have here, the rice, it gets poured into this big like thing, yeah. So anyways, so this is the mentality they tend to have. Why? Because it's strange to them that in this day and age, a young child who I haven't raised in this sort of way wants to now start practicing religion properly. So I go to my mum, I told her, Mum, look, this was happening in our wedding, so she wanted me to come to the wedding, and I knew at this wedding there were going to be aunties there who, I don't know, we've got 3 minutes left, okay. So I knew there was going to be aunties there that are going to want to hug me. So I told my mum, look, Mum, I'm coming to this wedding, but I'm not going to hug them. Can you just please let them know like I'm on this wave? Like, this is what I'm about now. So she looked at me, she's like, okay. So we went to this wedding. She didn't tell no one, so my auntie came to me. This is our auntie, yeah. I hope she's not watching this. But she came to me, she was like, my name is Mahfoud, by the way, for everyone calls me Strides, my name is Mahfoud. Okay. So she said, Mahfoud, I ain't seen you long. I was like, oh, bro, what? Mum didn't tell you? She was like, what do you mean? And I sat down with her for like 20 minutes, I had to explain to her, look, I'm trying to practice my religion, this kind of relation is not permissible, this, that. She was like, oh yeah, I understand. You're not going to give me a hug? I was like, how did I explain to you for the last 20 minutes? And basically what I'm trying to tell you is speak to your parents about it, because your parents are the one who have authority against you, right? If your parents say something to someone else, class, that's it, okay? Your parents, you go to them, you tell them, look, I'm trying to... And this is a message to the parents as well. Make the religion easy for your children. Don't make it hard upon them. It's already hard as it is. And this is something that, it's not a one-way thing, where you leave your children and they do whatever they want. And then when your children, they go off and they get a boyfriend and they get a girlfriend, you're going to be blaming them. But you wasn't looking after them. You wasn't spending time with them. You wasn't looking at what was happening in their life. How do you expect them not to grow up in this sort of way? This is something important that I feel as if really parents should be taking into consideration how their children are growing up. Spending time with them, okay, nurturing them upon Islam. And I don't want to go too long because there's...
I think we'll end on that note, just to re-emphasize what the brother was saying. Also, goes out to the uncles and to any aunties watching, is that, wallahi, please don't make marriage hard for your children. Don't make marriage hard for your children. Wallahi, we live in a day and an age and a place where zina it's become so easy. So easy. And if you turn around and say, no, we want X amount of mahar, it has to be 10,000 and this and that, don't make marriage hard for your children. Because wallahi, they're the ones who are going to suffer. At the end of the day, they're the ones who are going to suffer. And one advice I just want to give to all the brothers in the crowd as well is, mashallah, wallahi, man, it brings so much joy to my heart to see you all here in the masjid. When I was growing up in my area, we didn't have masajid like this. Well, maybe they were, but not that I knew of anyway. I didn't know of any masajid where I could go, sit down, It was all old uncles with big beards talking in Urdu about, this and that. There was never any, events with the youth, where the youth were there. And wallahi, what this masjid is doing for you, it's an amazing thing. And please connect your heart to the masjid. Always stay with the masjid. That way, even if you're in a situation where your iman is low, and you're feeling depressed or you're feeling upset, your heart will always long to come back to the masjid, even in that moment of low iman. So with that, is there anything you want to add?
Just to quickly conclude, I just thought to mention this because I've also mentioned something about being young, and that's something that caught just sparked my mind. Just want to end on this, inshallah. A lot of you guys here, majority of this room is like packed out with youngsters, yeah? So the majority of you guys are young, very young, yeah? Very, very, very young. Teenage years, if not infants, if not toddlers, if not, children or whatever. I just wanted to tell you guys a quick statement by Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen. Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, he said, the knowledge that remained with us is the knowledge that we gained when we were younger. Meaning what? Meaning in our years that we had the ability. And this goes back to the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and it is also one of the advices from the 5 that the CFF gave to the youth. And what was one of these advices? They said, benefit from your youth before old age comes to you. Why they say benefit from your youth? Because when you're older, you're going to struggle to walk to the masjid, you're going to struggle to walk to the durus, you're going to struggle to even do basic things that require physical strength, you're going to struggle to get up, back pain, you're going to struggle to turn over one side of the bed. So right now you're all young. And I believe it was narrated by Malik ibn Dinar and Ibn al-Baghdadi, I believe he quoted this, and he said that when you seek knowledge from a young age, you will start to reap its fruits when you're older. So right now we're all soil. What does a plant need? It needs soil, sunlight, water, this, that, and the other, X, Y, Z for it to grow, right? So the analogy that was given is that right now we're all soil. We need sunlight, water, just the right amount of things to grow and have that. What the science guy, nutrition, right? Yeah, the right nutrition stuff for us to grow. So right now we're soil, and later on, in the hadith of Malik ibn Dinar, it is said that we will reap its fruits later on. So right now, seek knowledge. You're all very young. We're all very young. Just seek knowledge, wallahi, and understand the religion. Study the religion in accordance to the right methodology, and that's the methodology of the Sahaba and the Salaf, and just follow your religion to the correct path, and that's it.
Once again, I just want to really thank the masjid for allowing us to come and do this event. Hope you guys benefit, inshallah. Anything that we said which might have been wrong, it's from ourselves and shaitan, and Allah and the Messenger are free from it. Jazakallah khairan, barakallahu feek. I'm going to go back to sleep now, inshallah.